And a very good morning to you, Elizabeth Atiku Jandu. You are with Alice Couture, and thank you for all the clothing that you tend to provide for me every Friday. I hope that you're enjoying the morning. But let's look at the newspapers. And we have the Daily Graphic. Mama, we'll start with that.
Definitely. Front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Fire service foils arson in Kumasi Central Market. Also embrace malaria-safe initiatives at workplaces. The First Lady is on the front page of the paper. But the banner headline here is NPP-NDC clash over invisible forces. So Mr. Johnson Esiedun Ketia, the NDC General Secretary, and the Acting General Secretary of the NPP, Mr. John Boedu, they're on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. Roland, so we have a mosquito. Do you know who the repellent is?
Yesterday,
You heard about the repellent?
Yes, Obri Boahin says that he was
the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP.
Lawyer Obri Boahin.
He says
Deputy
he's the
General
repellent
Secretary
if General Mosquito is the mosquito.
I think that
he is the
over the last
repellent.
couple of months, I mean, perhaps the election, he'd been very... his posture has been very... Anyway, let's have a lot more stories updated.
Let's do the back page of the Daily Graphic now. Sharks hold Olympics in Accra. Innocent Wednesday for Kotoko, and it says Kumasi Asante Kotoko yesterday secured their second win in the season's Ghana Premier League with 1-0 victory over Bechem United at the Babayara Sports Stadium. We'll have detailed sports right here on the show, right after the newspapers. Sada Rasmal Group signed some $800 million deal to help transform Savannah Zone. That's in the center spread of the paper. It says the Rasmal Investment Group of Morocco has signed an agreement with the Savannah Accelerated Development Authority to invest a minimum of $800 million into 3 projects in the Savannah zone of the country. There are 3 projects: the Tamale Teaching Hospital, the Buwepe Inland Ports, and the Kintampo Tourism Cluster form part of SADC's master plan, which will serve as a blueprint to the transformation of the zone. Okay, so you find the signing process, a picture of that in the center spread of the Daily Graphic newspaper. All right, Roland, that's it for the graphic.
So we do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have "Don't Outlaw Gays," Amnesty International. You have a picture there of George Agri. And you go to page 16 of the paper, he's quoted as being the board chairman of Amnesty International Ghana. You go to other stories on the front page. "We won't interfere in Bimbala chieftaincy affair. Interior Minister and President misled distorted facts in State of Nation address," according to the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu. "Government to ban pesticides, weedicides," and that's on page 16 of the paper. "Sharks hold Soli and Hearts Dwarfs draw. Kotoko breaks Bechem." And we have the Ghana Premier League in session. And the matches took place again, midweek matches on Wednesday.
Let's do the New Crusaden Guide newspaper. Front page of the New Crusaden Guide paper. Minority replies Akufo-Addo accuses government of blocking nursing recruitment. Comes with a picture of the minority leader Haruna Idrisu on the front page of the New Crusaden Guide newspaper. First Lady launches malaria-safe initiative to ensure health and wealth. New minister orders Atipo out. Move to Volta or face the law. Surveys ready to help government develop zone goals. That's another headline there. I'm interested in this one that comes with a picture of Kofi Jamasi, the new chieftaincy minister. Where's that story? Here we go. It says that after almost a year of back and forth over the transfer of the registrar of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, the new chieftaincy minister, Kofi Jamasi, has affirmed the transfer of the registrar to the Volta region. Per the letter, which was dated 15 February and signed on behalf of the minister by the Chief Director, Benjamin Affo, the minister directed Mr. Atipo to move to the Volta region with immediate effect or face sanctions. According to the letter, quote, "You are hereby informed to take notes of all correspondences regarding this matter and with immediate effect comply with the posting instruction to you. For the avoidance of doubt, you were posted to the Volta Regional House of Chiefs and same stands. Note that if you refuse to comply with the posting instruction or the regulations pertaining to such conduct, and as provided by law, regulation, and directives shall apply to you without favor, unquote. Okay, so you can read, because that's not the end of the story, you can read more about this particular story. There's a picture of Harry Anthony Atipu, the man at the center of this in the New Crusading Guide newspaper.
Welcome to the parties of the times. Let's look at the front page of the Daily Guide. It has NDC takes on Nana. 25 stolen cars recovered, Mahama's orders flouted. I'm not on leave, CJ cries. And those are the stories we have. Center spread, we bring you, they brought you pictures of how personalities looked at the State of the Nation address. Beautiful. Very good morning to Chief of Staff, Mrs. Fremont Parry.
What, the pictures are about her?
No, she's in the pictures.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's the only one I saw among them. So good morning.
The only person you could identify.
Yes, I say.
All right, let's do the Today newspaper next. The Today newspaper is what's up next. Minority slums president over debt stock figures. Police bust 24 for molesting alleged female thief. Train crashes man to death, and I'll do briefly two of the stories on the front page of the Today newspaper. It was all wailing last Tuesday night at Kojokrom, a suburb of Sekondi Takoradi Metro in the Western region, when a 50-year-old man identified as Kweku was crushed to death by a moving train at the newly constructed railway terminal in the town. Residents, passers-by and hawkers in the area were seen wailing and crying, especially women who trooped to the scene of the accident where the remains of the man littered the rail track. Very gory pictures that I have seen, and it's a shame that people are putting it on social media. But this is a very sad incident that happened. It happened about 10:30 p.m. The deceased was among a group of persons suspected to be alcoholics and weed smokers who normally gather around the newly constructed terminal at Kojokrom at night. Forget that, you know, the person was allegedly drinking or smoking or whatever it is. The incident in itself, I mean, for a train to crash a human being and for a human being to not exist any longer because of this is sad, really. Let's go to page 3 and read a bit of this story that also made huge headlines, was all over social media. It says that police in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, have arrested 24 men suspected to be involved in the stripping and beating of a lady accused of theft. The incident occurred at Edum, Kumasi on February 17, 2017. This was after the woman reported assault to the police. And I know that our colleagues in the Ashanti region with Love FM and Insure FM have been doing a lot of work on this. We'll bring you what's latest with his arrests. There are some people who spoke, I listened to them on radio, and they say this is actually the normal practice. If you're caught suspected of stealing, that's what they do to you. So what happened to this woman that we've seen in the video that's gone viral is actually not new. And it was a shame hearing all the men in that piece say that, oh, we're normal. I mean, this could. I
think it was as appalling as it could be.
Exactly.
There's no way anybody can defend that.
Yeah.
We have institutions of this country that are expected to take care of all things criminal, allegedly.
Yeah.
And we have to make sure that we resort to lay down ground rules or procedures as in the criminal code or the various regulatory documents we have, and make sure that all our grievances are addressed. There's no way you have to molest anybody, because even if they were supposedly guilty, they have rights.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So,
but there's another thing that I don't quite understand.
I kept asking, even morally, the men who were perpetrating that have girlfriends, have slept with women before, or have wives, have slept with their wives before, would they want, or have mothers, would they want the dignity of those who are related to them who are female to be in that state?
Yeah,
supposedly if the person was innocent before even being proven to be guilty.
Even if the person is guilty, Roland, let's just take that the person is guilty.
Yes.
Do you go to the extent that you
doing what you did?
What you did?
And sometimes you see some of these things on social media from other countries that you think, oh, as for Ghana, it could never happen.
Yeah.
And it happened, and I was extremely surprised.
And apparently, this is not new, except that this is the first time that this has been captured
and gone viral.
And gone viral, exactly.
It's appalling. It must be condemned in all uncertain terms. And all women's groups and people who feel that what is wrong should also come in. It could also even happen to men.
Yeah.
So
I was just going to say that let's not make it a women's issue.
It's
because
about
I've seen
mob actions and how people put the law into their own hands and perpetrate and feel that this sense of vigilantism that has engulfed the country is the right way to go. It's not the right way to go, really.
My disappointment, my biggest disappointment perhaps will be the lady actually walked to the police station to make her reports. And the police gave her a form to go to the hospital, and that's it. So they have not been able to locate her. I mean, I've gone through such an ordeal. I come to the police to report, and all I get is, oh, take a form and go to the hospital. Where are you from? How are you feeling now? I mean, is this a case that you just give a form to somebody to just go to the hospital? I don't get it. So now they can't find the lady. But if you were here, would you go back to the police station? You're going to make a report. You've been assaulted.
You see,
and the first thing they do...
You want to ascertain your rights. Looking at where I come from and how I am, I would make sure that my rights really are sustained.
No, I get it. But if the first thing that the police would do, after I've mastered the courage, remember, it's not easy to go through something like that and walk to the police station and make a report, and they give you a form to go to the hospital. Really, and now they can't find her. So they were actually relying on media men to even take them to where the incident happened. What happened? I mean, like, is that the first thing you do?
So bad.
Oh gosh. Okay, so that's it for the Today newspaper that carried, this story. Comes a picture of the IGP, by the way. Yeah.
We have the Daily Dispatch. It says, survey reveals Ghana is prosperous, but most expensive in Africa and 21st in the world. Okay. Minority on President Akufo-Addo's State of the Nation address, and those are the stories we have. You go to the private. The back page is about what President Akufo-Addo said about power sector. I'll put into some context there. Okay, so those are the stories we have.
Let's do the Daily Statesman newspaper. Banner headline, Akufo-Addo wills Unilever back to Ghana, announces stimulus package for businesses. Also, President foils NDC demo, and I'm kind of interested in that. Let's see if we can find the story in the paper. Okay. Where is that? President foils NDC demo. Okay, cool. It says the condemnation of post-election attacks by the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, in his maiden State of the Nation address, has compelled the opposition National Democratic Congress to call off a planned demonstration by its youth wing. In a statement signed and issued by General Secretary Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the party said, quote, on our part, we're calling off the planned demonstration of our youth wing against NPP violence scheduled for February 24 as a sign of good faith, unquote. Okay, but that's not where the story ends, so I urge you, to get the paper and read the rest of the story. Obi Amwa bereaved. The death is reported in Accra of Mr. Obri Yeboah Amwa. He was 48 years old, son of Mrs. Harriet Amwa and brother of Obi Amwa, MP Krepem South, KG Amwa of Dental School, Kolibo, and Nana Pukia Sari, Chair 4 of Ghana Standards Authority. Burial and funeral arrangement will be announced in due course. Well, our condolences to the Member of Parliament for Krepem South, Mr. Obi Amwa, who's reported to have lost his brother.
Again, our condolences. We have Business Finder. It has on the front page economic recovery, and the Bank of Ghana is optimistic. It says economic activity is expected to strengthen this year on the back of gradual rebound and credit extension to the private sector and the improvement in macroeconomic fundamentals of the economy, the Bank of Ghana is said to have stated. And these and others are there, but you also have summaries of macroeconomic indicators. Fiscal deficit currently at 8.5% of GDP, inflation 8%, and hovering around those measures. We have 3-month import cover in international reserves, and consumer price inflation December was 15.4%. And some of these things you just need to take a look at. And the current Bank of Ghana policy rate is 25.5%, and the Treasury bill rate for 91 T-bills is 15.69%, and 17.1%. It's gone down drastically. Wow. But the Ghana cedi is trading against the US dollar at 4.3%, against the euro 4.6 Ghana cedi, sorry. And the British pound 5.4 Ghana cedis, and the South African one at 20 pesos. Great. Right. Now we know the rates now. Okay.
All right. Another business paper we have is the Business and Financial Times. That will be the last paper that we'll do really before we go online. Front page of the Business and Financial Times: ban on local airlines to USA to end by December. According to the GCAA, the Ghana Civil Aviation Authority, gold output to hit 2.8 million ounces by year end. Value of gifts transactions hits 174.5 billion Ghana cedis. We're told that the Interbank Payments and Settlement Systems Limited has witnessed consistent growth in the value and volume of its various initiatives since it was formed almost a decade ago. But there's a beautiful picture on the front page of the paper. Executive Women Network calls on President Akufo-Addo, and he's sandwiched between beautiful women on the front page of the Business and Financial Times newspaper. I can count about how many? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 women. What would you do in the middle, in the midst of 8 women?
Enjoy their presence.
Yeah.
Back
page. Yeah. Back page of the Business and Financial Times. Beige capital system upgraded to boost competitive capacity. Kofi Boah fears privatization of VRA, Gridco, and Sahel Sahara Bank supports Ghana at 60 with 100,000 Ghana cedis. So they wanted corporate Ghana, and it looks like corporate Ghana is responding. I think we were thinking that government institutions, sometimes we say government institutions, they are independent, when most of them really, the heads are not as independent. They make contributions to some of these celebrations. And I know that the media is looking out for that. But proper corporate Ghana is responding to this. And that's good. As long as we're not using, the taxpayers' money for the celebrations, we can even put it like 50 million and nobody would bother. Yeah?
I think so.
Okay, so that's it for the newspapers. Let's pay attention to online now. Roland will start with myjoyonline.com.
Okay, and it's a tragic incident of an accident that took place. It says photos. Former MPP MP for Akwitia killed in a Gori lorry accident. It says former New Patriotic Member of Parliament for Akwitia, Dr. Kofi Asare, was killed in an accident near Nkoko on the Kumasi Accra main road. Tragic incident. Tragic. Mama, what about the stories there?
Yeah. International Voice calls decline as domestic traffic SMS rises. So statistics from the NC on mobile cellular activity indicate that both international incoming and outgoing mobile to mobile voice calls are on the decline. Well, now we're getting a lot more sophisticated, tech savvy. There are various ways that you can reach your loved ones abroad. If it's so expensive to do mobile voice calls, why don't you Skype or, do any of the other things? I mean, if I can WhatsApp with you and
it's not expensive
voice
to
notes.
We have a lot of data now available, so you can use data to reduce your cost.
You can even do the voice notes on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It's just as talking to the person on the other line.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good for them. I mean, it should be cheaper.
Because that would be it can happen in real time. You talk, it sends, the person talks back.
I miss you, Roland. Send.
Yes, do,
Oh, I miss you too.
do.
I sent you the money. Did you receive it?
Yes, I did receive it. Then you send it.
You can let the kids also talk if if their father or if their mother is.
Auntie, how are you? Auntie Fua.
Yeah. That's it. And then, yeah. So they sit there and make it so expensive. Nobody will do mobile international.
Look, I think that one day we'll wake up, they should be steady.
Yeah, they should be.
We'll wake up and we'll be doing data.
Yeah,
data calls.
we'll only buy.
I think we're getting there.
We'll only buy the SIM card. That's it.
The reason why we're using a lot more of their normal calls now is because the data connections are not stable.
Yeah.
That's why. Other than that, in some places you don't have a lot of delays. You don't have a lot of delays, and it helps many of the times when you're using it, because out there, even in Ghana and some notable parts of Africa, you can use data to watch TV.
Yeah.
It's only that in our part, data
There are
is
people
expensive.
doing that here.
Yeah, they do
There are people doing
Those
that
who
here.
can afford, they do
They're
that.
targeting, and it's
Because,
a
for
lot
example,
cheaper.
Netflix, as in the US and elsewhere where they've deployed, runs basically on data using Wi-Fi's and things like that.
Roland, there's this
And
app.
elsewhere around the world, they have Wi-Fi hotspots. So
Yeah.
let's say you come to Reggie Manuel Estate, and there are Wi-Fi hotspots. So you pay just like the way you pay your bills, and
So then it's cheaper to use that.
so you don't have to use even chips,
Yeah.
SIM cards, etc.
Yeah.
You just have to use. That's why you have a lot more of those devices without it.
Yeah.
They just use your normal Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, and then you're
There's an app very soon. We won't do pay TV any longer. There's an app on my phone. Once I have data, I can watch anything I want to watch on any of the American channels in real time. So imagine
even it's still taking place.
Imagine if I have stable internet
I'm able to watch
connectivity
ITV on my phone.
at home. There's a device. You just buy one time.
You
You
stick
just
it to your
connect
TV.
it to your television.
Yeah, go on.
Make sure that you have data, so that you.
The problem
that's
we
it,
have in
really.
Ghana is that data is expensive.
Yeah, data is
But
expensive.
many of the places in the developed world, it's unlimited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Anyway, let's
Let's finish off myjoyonline.com quickly before we're dragged out of here.
Yes.
Beige capital upgrade system to boost competitive capacity. Also, Kwabena Donko faults planned Gridco VRA listings. I thought he stopped talking energy, but apparently not. Let's move on. 7 new planets where life is possible. That's something that's been discovered. Okay, we'll go somewhere. We'll go elsewhere, not Earth sometime. CJ's absence at Sonar explained, and I can't imagine. People thought that she had retired or something. Really, give us a break. Madame Georgina Wood is still very much in charge. She is not in the country. That's why there's an acting CJ. People were making noise about that. Kofi Adams sues MPPs Obi Ibrahim for defamatory comments, but we heard Obi Ibrahim yesterday say that he had heard, but he had not been served. Also because he's been out of Accra. But he said that if they're looking for him, they can call him. He can meet them somewhere and be served. Yeah, man, he's ready to face them. This is myjoyonline.com still? Okay, yeah. Minority condemns arrest of a leaked Invisible Forces video. Kolebu in another scandal, but management disputes fruits price inflation claims. As for Kolebu, Chale, I'm waiting for the person they appoint
It's
as
not only
CEO.
Kolebu. Many of the public institutions like that,
But Kolebu is like a headache, like a migraine that won't go away apparently.
Well, you go up, we're told hundreds of travelers are stranded at Bupe. We spoke to a witness early part of Wednesday.
Okay, in later part of Wednesday, Justice Baidu was in the town. And so, he gave like a situational report. He's also been stuck in Bupe, but I'm not sure it's because of the traffic situation.
No, it's because of, you mean for justice?
For justice, his vehicle broke down.
Well, that's another thing. That's another thing altogether.
Yeah, but then he was right there on the spot to do the story.
Talk about being at a spot at the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
And being in a position to report. Well, let's go to City FM online, Mama.
Well, clean up NDC's economic mess. That's Information Minister Mustafa Hamid there. Gender Minister condemns assault on suspected female thief. NDC calls off planned demo against post-election violence. Nanado's State of the Nation address only focused on challenges. That's according to the minority. And this coming out of their press conference yesterday. Ghana at 60 launches Jubilee Innovation Challenge for app developers. It was in our AM News this morning. Let's do BBC Africa page. And yesterday I had to, I listened to the BBC. I don't know, I wasn't really listening. And then I heard them say South Africa is the only African country that's allowed prisoners to vote. You know, Kenya also has now done that. I was looking for my phone. Where's my phone? Let me send something to the BBC handle. Where were they when we voted in 2016? Didn't they see prisoners' votes? Why would they say until now it's only South Africa, so now Kenya, so South Africa and Kenya? Really? Why? Ghana is not in Africa. Or when good things happen to Ghana, they don't see it.
They didn't know.
Yeah, I hope that they responded to what I said.
Did you?
On Facebook and on Twitter. Yes, I don't tweet a lot, but certainly when I hear somebody say something that is not Ghanaian, that's not. So I said, fact check. Okay, let's do the BBC Africa page. Ex-spy chief arrested in Gambia. Mr. Baji is said to have personally presided over torture sessions under ex-president Yahya Jammeh. What was he in the country for when his boss had left?
Yeah.
Why didn't he leave as well? Poachers killed 2 rhinos at orphanage. South Africa court blocks ICC pull-out. The South African court says the government had no right to leave the ICC without consulting Parliament. There are some highlights. Nigerians petition SA over attacks. Elephant selfie taker killed. Whew. You can't take it. You know, when I went to South Africa, I did a lot of things with elephants. But you can't do it without their trainers. And there are certain times you can't go closer to the elephant. Consider the back of the elephant. You can walk the elephant, you can feed the elephant, but it has to be good times. And their trainers must be present when you do this. I don't know what led to the selfie taker being killed by the elephant.
So what, they've started homophobic attacks in South Africa?
Yes. And the Nigerians, directs... what's the term? Recipient of this, and they've planned this demonstration. They want to protest. It's a protest actually. They presented a petition as well, so you can read about it. I mean, Africans in South Africa, depending on the parts that you are, you may not necessarily be safe. And Nigerians are. I mean, they won't come to your country and come and beg. They will work, and they will make sure they work hard.
Yes,
and they enjoy what
they'll work, and then they'll rub it in your face.
Yeah,
you say,
exactly.
Yes, there's money here. You feel there's no money.
Exactly.
I have some great Nigerian friends.
Yeah.
I should say they're hardworking people.
They are.
They're smart too. They're smart, hardworking people.
Yeah.
They work smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they enjoy it. Like after a hard day's work, you've got to enjoy. And they enjoy what they work for.
The way they live there, Charlie.
We went to a store was it Santon? And somebody thought one of the guys was Nigerian. He started telling the story of how a Nigerian broke her heart and things like that.
Yeah. And talk about Nigeria breaking people's hearts. I know some of them who are after a couple of my friends.
Oh my God. But they say Nigerian men are more romantic.
Yeah, because they tend to...
And they're good givers.
Yeah, they splash a lot. They're like the way I do my things around,
Yeah, it's time. Let's move
on. And Matilda Pomaga is always happy with me the way I am.
We will bring you sports.
That's so good.
Oh, we've got, just before we go, let's just do our little money moment where we contribute to our Susu box. I think we didn't do it for 2 days or so.
Is it for 2 days?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe for a day because of the state of the nation. Yeah, yesterday I didn't show up.
You didn't
so
show
you
up.
Couldn't have contributed to the box without me.
Yeah.
But you could have done that.
When she's not in, the box is taken away.
Okay.
The box kind of sleeps in her
So
home.
hopefully you're all saving.
In the boot of a car.
Next month, March, ending of March,
We're gonna
open our box and count how much
and
we
then get a
made.
new box.
And
That's
get
how
a-
it
and
is.
get a
And
new
continue
box.
for the next 3 months.
Exactly.
Until we go 4 quarters in a year.
Yeah.
You know, we have
Alright.
4 quarters in the fiscal year.
I am thinking maybe we should be saving separately. I don't know.
No, you see, your husband is telling you her things.